In this video, what we're going to do is we're going to create a camera so we can make the room bigger and the camera will follow Mario. Before we begin, I just want to talk a little bit about how Gdevelop works. In the main area, you'll see that we can see the scene, and in the scene you have your room where you place your objects, and this is also where we create our objects. And to do the coding, that's going to be in the event tab. So I'm just going to click on the event tab now, and you'll see the coding. What is unique about Gdevelop is that all of the objects codes, where they have events over here and actions that apply to those events, for the entire game they all exist in the same place. Well, that's good, but it can get quite confusing. So far we've just started and already half the screen is full with codes. So what we're going to do, and it's just for looks, is we're going to use groups. And it won't make any difference to how the program works, but it's going to make it easier to find and organize things. So I'm going to click on the big plus sign here in just a second, and I'm going to make a group. So I click on it and I select group. Oops, the screen was off the screen there, sorry. So what you'll, just backing up to what I did, is I'm going to click the big plus sign right here, and I'm going to create a group. So I select it and I select group. Okay, so now I've got a new group here. So I'm going to call this group keyboard. So I type in keyboard. And so what we're going to do is I'll drag this to the top, and everything to do with keyboarding I'll put in here. How do I put them in? I just drag one tab over to the left, and you'll see it'll draw a line now, and it will put all of these things together. Well, why do I do it for looks? You're probably saying, well, it's just got a heading, but it's more than that. If I click on this little tiny triangle, it'll collapse it and it'll still be there. I'll click on it and you'll see it just says keyboard. If I click on it again, I can expand it. And this is just nice and easy to keep things simple so that not everything is listed that we don't need. Okay, the next group I'm going to make, I'm going to call camera. And again, this doesn't do anything. It's the events underneath that do all the work. So I want to add a new event, and right now it's not attached to the camera group, so I'm just going to pull it in one, and now you can see the little line here that it is attached to the camera. You'll see the little line right underneath camera, so it's attached to camera. And typically before we had conditions and then actions would take place if the condition is true. Well, I want to do something slightly different. I want something to happen all of the time. And so 30 or so times per second, depending on the frame per second rate that we have, this action is going to happen if I leave this empty. So unlike the other thing, I don't want to say, oh, if the left key is pressed, then do the left maneuvering. But I don't want to do that. This time, I just want to say always, so under every condition, I want you to do what we list here in the action. So let me show you what I want to do. I want a camera. So I'm going to click here, and I'm going to type the word camera. And then you'll see an option is to center the camera on an object. Yes. What object do I want to center it on? I want to center it on Mario. Perfect. And then I'm just going to say, okay. And we're done. Let me hit play to show you how it works. And you'll see here is my room. And I've got my Mario running here. And as I run across the room, the camera is going to follow Mario. Terrific. That's everything.